Hi, everyone, and welcome to Profiles in Ink. My name is Bill Soroka. I'm the founder of NotaryCoach.com and the Notary Business Builder Advanced Notary Mastermind. I'm excited to introduce you to Nancy McKain today. Nancy, welcome. I'm excited to share your magnetic mantras with the notary community. I find them very inspirational, and I find your story fascinating and inspirational as well. So, welcome.
Thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate all that you guys do.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure, and I'm so glad our paths have connected. As before we even get into magnetic mantras, I love a good origin story. So I'm always so curious how the notary entrepreneur opportunity even pops up as an option for somebody. Can you walk us through that a little bit? How'd you end up here?
Yep, purely by accident. Actually, I worked for a real estate firm, a boutique real estate firm in San Francisco in the late 90s, I think it was. And I was sort of the chief, the cook, and the bottle washer there. So it was again a boutique firm. I was the assistant sales manager, the HR director, the operations manager, the plunger. I managed the plunger. I made coffee. And so they didn't have a notary on staff. And they requested that I go and take the training. I did. I passed. I got a 97 actually.
Nice.
And
In California, that's not easy to do.
no, I know. I was shocked. I still have the notice that they sent to me when I passed. So I did that for the entire time that I was there. I did probably about 600 notarizations. My most famous one was Neil Young.
Ooh.
I went to his house. He lived up. It was really not a big deal. He was late. He was like an hour late, but I talked to his wife. She was a very lovely person. And but I did that for everybody who walked in off the street. I never charged anybody to do it. It was just a service that we provided. And I renewed it twice. So I got it once, and then I did that. I think I got it in 2002. I renewed in 2006, and again in 2010 it came up, and I said, and that's when they had let me go. Actually, it was during the when the real estate market fell out.
Yeah.
And so I didn't renew it because I said to me it was of no value. I didn't see much value in it because it was just a service I provided
Right.
to people. It didn't benefit me. It did help people, which I enjoyed, but it wasn't anything I could even imagine I would be able to use. So I just said, I'll forget about it. I'm not going to do it again. And then fast forward to 2020, my youngest sister, she said, hey, I'm going to go and get my notary license or my notary commission. Do you want to do it with me? I'm like, oh yeah, I already did that once. Sure, I could do that. No problem. Oh my God. We did it. We both walked out of the proctored test saying, oh my God, we failed. We failed. That was horrible. I mean, I can retain water really well. I cannot retain information. And so it turned out I got my results first. I passed literally by the skin of my teeth, but I got more than she did. So that's good. And she's 12 years younger.
Did she pass though?
Yeah, she did. Both of
Okay,
us
good.
did. Like you only need 70 to pass. I think she got 72 and I think I got 76. Not
Nice.
one thing that we did in that meeting in the pre-test review, not one thing was on the test. I mean, that's one thing that is just scarier than.
Frustrating, isn't it?
And I'm now going through because my renewals come or my commission expires in January. So I'm trying to get ahead of it now. But anyway, so she said, yeah, let's do it. I said, okay. And then we started coming up with ideas. I had seen you before. because I started researching how can I go about doing this from an entrepreneurship uh, perspective. And I had seen you. I've never seen Jen. I don't know who else. I think mainly it was you and then that Mark Wills. I didn't take his course, but
Yeah.
and then I got a job. So I didn't really even focus on it then
Oh,
until just January, this past January. I decided we had already come up with the name. I had all my business cards. That's me. I start at the front and I work backward. Literally, I created the logo with my sister, the business, the whole concept, and then I stopped and now worked backward into it. And then in January, I was I again, the market has taken a dip. So the woman I worked with just didn't have enough business. So I found myself on my own again.
yeah,
And I was looking for something to sort of inspire me with the notary thing. I really wanted to focus on that. I went on LinkedIn where I had an account. I came across a woman named Renee Lamb. I looked at her information. She had a video of Jen Neitzel
yeah,
of doing she was referring her or what do you testimonial for her. And I thought, that's interesting. So I looked at Jen's stuff. I scheduled a call with Jennifer and then I joined NBB. So I went to Jennifer first and I said, oh yeah, I mean, I know who Bill is. And here we are.
and here we are.
That's it.
And now you're the California National Notary Partners, right? That's the name you guys
No,
decide on, or
just National
just
Notary
National Notary Partners?
Partners. Mhm.
I love that. Is your sister doing the business with you now?
No,
Just you?
just me. I
All right.
want her to, but she's getting a divorce. So she's trying to make up for the 30 years that she
Sure.
didn't do anything. So
Yeah.
now she's yeah, I want her to, but I think if she sees me doing it successfully, she'd be more inclined.
Yeah.
Again, I'm an idea person and they've seen me do the mantras, but I really haven't done much else when it comes to coming up with ideas and doing them.
Yeah.
So now this is my next venture is to be successful at this.
Yeah. Time to execute and implement, right? I
Yes.
can totally relate to that too. I have 26 business failure. Well, I'm up to 33 or 34 now. I give myself plenty of permission to fail, right? But part of the reason that I failed those first 26 businesses at least was the execution part. I just didn't have it, right? I did exactly what you did. I would design the logo. I'd be spending weeks designing logos,
Oh my God.
coming up with the perfect universal selling proposition, all the fun, pretty stuff, right? And then when it came down to doing the nitty gritty and getting a customer, I was like, ooh, I don't want to talk to people. And
That's
then
my
I'd bounce off to
thing.
the next one.
Oh my God. I've been in a customer facing business all of my life, all of my life. And when I was the HR director and all of the things that I was at this real estate firm, I used to always say, if it weren't for the agents or the staff, I would love my job. They were my job, but I just, oh God, when I had to deal with them, for me, that was, if I didn't ever have to deal with people, that was always my optimum.
Yeah,
But in reality, um, when I say I'm shy and people say, oh God, you're so full of it. I'm not, because I am. If I'm not shy with you, it's because I like you. It's
yeah,
because I'm comfortable with you. But put me in a room, I can still talk to anybody standing still, but I don't feel comfortable doing it.
yeah, yeah. Totally relatable. And yet it's such a conundrum in a people business, a relationship based business,
I
right?
know.
As you were
Yep.
saying, especially in a
Yep.
business like this, where there's so much joy that comes from helping people in a business like
I love
this.
it.
Like, love that part, right? Now we'll get into that here in just a moment, but there's also the other side of pushing that comfort zone and talking to people that you don't know yet, or talking about offering services, pitching um, relationships and collaborations and that kind of thing. But still, I want to get Nancy. I love how we tracked your journey, but there's literally, especially from an ideas person, you could have chosen anything. So, what is it about the notary entrepreneur opportunity that really draws you in?
I'm well into it. I've invested a lot of time, um, and energy and money into it, and I really am tired of not following through.
Mhm.
I'm not tired of it. I just want to make that commitment to myself. First of all, it involves people, which I really do like. The best part of it is going out and meeting people every single, and I was telling my other sister this as well. Every single notarial act that I have done has been different. Nothing has ever been the same. I like that. It's kind of scary every time you go out and do it, but it's so interesting, the people that you meet. And I'm not friends with any of them, but I do enjoy the moment when we're done and I say goodbye, and everyone's happy. For me, that's a big that's really, I think, the goal. And but I'm always second guessing myself. Oh God, I hope I did that right. And I want to be the best I can be at what I'm doing, so that what I'm doing is right. And that's where Notary Business Builder comes into it. But I just want to follow through. That's my
Yeah,
main reason. I want to follow through on something I like. Not going to an office. I'm trying to learn how to be self-motivated. That's why I joined the Notary Business Builder. Um, and I'm committed to it. I'm
yeah.
committed to that, or to the asylum. So I I'll take this for a
It's a
while.
fine line
Oh my
sometimes,
God.
though, right,
The
Nancy?
inmates are running the asylum here at my house.
Uh,
So
well, I love that you've chosen to the idea of committing to this, because there's something to keeping a promise to yourself, right? Otherwise, I'm sure it sounds like we operate a lot the same, in that we have tons of ideas and we go, and then we don't do things, and then we sometimes should all over ourselves, like, oh, I should have kept doing that. Oh, I should have stuck with that one. Now, look, that guy created $1 billion business with my idea 10 years ago, that kind of thing.
that's happened to me as well.
Yeah. So, um, just keeping your promise to yourself and keeping going, I absolutely love. And you've already touched on the gratification you get from doing a great job.
Mhm.
So I'm curious. I know you had what your other brand for which is called Magnetic Mantras, and you
Mhm.
had that, and you just shared with me that you had that since like 2009, 2010.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with that, what it did for you, and
Mhm.
how it blends into what you're doing now?
Yes. Yes, of course. I again, back to where it was born, was out of desperation, actually, and depression. I had been fired from my job that I spent 15 years doing, and I thought that I meant more to them, because I take things personally. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I believe you when you say you're going to do something. It's just my biggest mistake. And someone told me once, the higher up you put someone on a pedestal, the further it is that they have to fall. So I need to really be careful about, trusting and believing. And so my dreams were shattered, but I think I wished it into being. They let me go. I was then, it was like going through a divorce, and I became very negative about myself, and second guessing, and I had no confidence in who I was. I thought, God, they're firing me, and I took it personally. And so one day I was just so sick of it, and I needed to change my thoughts. And I said, God, I think I was listening to The Secret at the time, just to try. And my sister Linda is so incredible with her keeping you on a positive note. And so I was driving, I had an appointment downtown, and I said, God dang it, I'm going to just try to stop this negative thinking. And the first one that came to my mind was, good things happen to me every day.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to say that. I'm looking in the mirror and I said, shoot, I wish I had it. Like, I wish I could just see that in front of me all the time. I just want to be able to see that. And then I thought, how am I going to see that? I have to tape something on my mirror. And I was coming up, then it started to happen in my head. Then I went downtown to Pleasanton at lunch, super crowded. I pulled up and there was a spot right in the front of where I was going. And I was like, oh, well, that worked.
Good things really
And
do happen to me.
I know. And I said, shoot, what is going on here? And then we went after lunch, we went to have an ice cream cone, and we walked in the door, and after us, 10 people walked in behind us. And I turned around and I said, hey, look at all the people behind us. We're first in line. I'm like, maybe that's one of those good things too. Maybe all this time, good things have been happening to me. I just never took the time to notice.
Mm, wow.
So from there, I went home and I thought, oh God, this is great. How am I going to do that? And then it actually happened pretty quickly after that. I came up with the idea, came up with the slogan, then I started researching the magnets and, started coming up with the actual mantras. And I don't know how I decided on 9 categories. I have 9 different categories that, and I actually use them. I thought, okay, and then I came up with a story on how to use them.
Yeah.
And then I sold them actually in my store. And that's it. And then, I've been doing it ever since. I've not updated them or redone them because I think they're just long lasting.
They're timeless, right?
They are
I mean, a good affirmation is a good affirmation no matter what.
in whatever form. And these happen to be, and someone said, oh, everything's electronic now or digital or that. I'm like, yeah, but not everybody wants to see that digitally.
Yeah.
In my packages come in each of the little mantra packages, there's a magnetic a magnetic piece of tape that you can take off the back, stick it to somewhere and make it magnetic. If you don't, on a piece of wood, if you want to put that on your mirror in the morning, you can make a little magnetic space with it. You'll see it
Oh, yeah. Well, and then you could do it on your dashboard then too, right? Like in
you
your
can
car.
put it on your dashboard. You can put it on any place that's not magnetic and make a magnetic place for it. There's one in every package that you just peel off the back. It's a magnet, peel off the back, stick it on wherever you want to put it. And then your magnet sticks to that magnet. So you can make a magnetic place out of it.
I think that's huge. Especially what I noticed is that my refrigerator, I've got one of those new fancy ones that's not
Stainless,
magnetic anymore. And I'm
right?
like, oh
Exactly.
crap. So, but I love that because then now I can make that magnetic.
Yes,
And
definitely.
I love your topics too. You have the categories. You have abundance, self-empowerment, success, gratitude, forgiveness, religious, career, health, and then teens and students. So it's
Right.
really all encompassing. So somebody could buy one if they're trying to focus on one thing, they could buy all of them or a couple
Yep.
different ones of the little
Yep.
bundles on there. And each bundle comes with, is it 9 different
7.
mantras? 7
There,
different
there
mantras.
are 9 categories. There's 7 magnets, and I just figured 7 because it was one for every day of the week.
Yeah,
What
nice.
I would say to people is you can either have, and the more you say it to yourself, the more you absorb it, the more it becomes ingrained in your thought process. And eventually, if you say, thoughts become things, that's the thing, that's the saying from The Secret. The
Yeah.
more you say positive things to yourself, the more it becomes a reality.
You
Good
start
things
to
happen.
believe it.
Yeah. I
Great.
mean, honestly, the good things happen to me every day. That was the first one. And then the other one, which is, then I always include a bonus magnet that says, when I believe it, I will see it.
Mm.
And that's the hardest one of all to imagine, to really absorb. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't.
Now you got the little blend. Oh, there it is. When I see it, I will. Oh, when I believe it, I will see it. I love that,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
hard to explain to someone who's on this side of the spectrum, right? Because it's not. It's like that tipping point of belief. As soon as you hit that, oh, then you see it.
Right.
What I
Right.
love about these magnetic mantras, Nancy, is um, that it does help keep your affirmation front and center. And this is the reason I struggled with affirmations for so long. And I think so many other people struggle with affirmations
Mhm.
is they'll wake up and they'll read it first thing in the morning, or sometimes they'll have it taped to their bathroom mirror, right? They read it once and then they go about their day and they just get slapped by life throughout the day. And then you forget all about your affirmations and your mantras that are designed to keep you in the present moment in a certain
Right.
believing a certain way. So with these, you can stick them somewhere where you might get reminded of them, whether that be the car or at the refrigerator or
Right.
at your desk at work or at your workstation at home, wherever it might be. You can constantly remind yourself of the stuff that helps keep you,
Right.
really helps you become who you need to become to make some cool stuff happen in your life, right?
Yep. Yep. That's the truth.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And I think this brings a great gift to the world. So I have, as we if somebody were interested, let's just start there. If somebody were interested in finding out more or purchasing one or more of your bundles of magnetic mantras, where would they go?
I have a link on eBay. And I think you could probably just Google magnetic mantras, or I think you search in eBay. That's the only place they are. I don't have a website for them. I did have a website. Uh, I've trademarked it as well. I mean, it was all formalized back in the day, but it hasn't been, because like the notary thing, it was back of mind, not front of mind. And only until I started with Notary Business Builders did it now resurface. I mean, I've had them on eBay for quite a long time. And occasionally, I would get an order, but never focused on them. And now, the focus is more on them because of you guys. And I appreciate that so much. But I think they're just on eBay.
Wonderful. And of course, I'll put the links down below to make that really easy for people to find. Now, one thing I did do is I just mentioned that I'd like to circle back just real quick because you mentioned that you had a store, and I'm curious about how that came about.
My jewelry store.
Yeah,
Well,
you sold these magnetic mantras at your jewelry store?
at my jewelry store, they were. Yeah, I sold jewelry, costume jewelry. It was when um, the Housewives franchise was on TV, and everything was big and chunky and blingy, and it was somehow. And because my store was called the Bracelet Bar, it was very swanky and glittery. And so everything I sold in my store was very glittery and chunky, and sort of wasn't modeled after the housewives, but they just happened to wear a lot of the things that I
Right.
carried.
Yeah.
And so it was super affordable. And I got uh, a lot of customers because things were so affordable. You could go, there were other stores similar to mine that had jewelry for twice the price. But I wanted to give people, because I thought, so this is just sparking something in my mind right now. When I came up with the concept of the jewelry store, I thought, we are in a recession. People can't afford to do what we used to do. And my slogan was the Bracelet Bar at Serenity, when cocktails just aren't enough.
Mm.
So I thought, there's probably people out there like me who still want to dress up and look good, but just don't have like a boatload of money to throw at it. So I'm going to make a store that people can afford to shop in. And so I created this super fun. We did it for 5 years and it was just so much fun. We had fabulous parties. It's where I discovered where wine is my best marketing tool. And I made so many wonderful friends. And the best part of it, and I've always said this, the best part of my store were my customers.
Mm,
Just incredible. I only had to throw one person out ever in my whole
that's
experience.
not bad.
That
Not
is
bad at all.
not bad. Everybody agreed anyway. But it was a great opportunity. My sister gave me the opportunity and I ran with it from there.
I love this because already you've shared at least three other jobs or careers that you've taken, and you're bringing now all that experience, those stories, what you've learned into your notary business. So I wonder if you had one piece of advice to give a notary entrepreneur that's either thinking about becoming a notary
Mhm.
or already a notary, but thinking of expanding with different ideas. What piece of advice would you offer?
Find a group,
Mm,
find a group like NBB. And I'm not, saying that because I'm on with you. I honestly believe that if I knew when I encountered the notary opportunity, if I knew back then what I realize now, I would have saved a lot of tread on my notary tires because I would have started with a group who could have motivated me. When you do this business, it's a very singular, very lonely business, and you have a lot of time to ponder what you can't do.
yeah,
That's hard. So it's good to be around people who give you ideas, enforce what you can do, and give you a community experience. I just think that that's probably the most valuable thing that I've gotten since I decided to re-enter this arena. I'm so grateful to have a community to share uh, thoughts, to get ideas from. Um, just a great group of people, but definitely surround yourself with the people you want to be like.
I love that piece of advice. It's so easy to slip into from solopreneur into silopreneur, right? Like you put up the walls, you put up your blinders, and you just go, 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 and you forget that there's all these other people who are actually pretty caring, loving, and supportive that will share information, they'll spark ideas, they'll give you all the ideas that or demonstrate for you the things that can be done as you're sitting over here telling yourself you can't do it, somebody
Right.
else is doing it. So I love that.
And everybody is at a different stage. You're going to meet
Yeah,
people who are just starting.
yeah,
You're going to meet people who've been in it for 100 years and talk very confidently. And it kind of gives you the opportunity to aspire to that and to see, oh, someone's at my own level too. Even though I've had my license now 24 years. I mean, I've been commissioned off and on for 24 years, but
mhm.
I'm still not as confident as I want to be doing it. But in this group, in the group that obviously in the NBB, it's one end of the spectrum to the other, and that makes you feel good, but it's still scary. I still oftentimes talk myself out of it all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Tell me more about that. What do you mean?
well, just doubt.
Mm,
You're by yourself, you don't hear anything but you, so you think, oh, what do I have to do today? How am I supposed to do that? I mean, then I have to remember what the steps are, because they're not always evident. They're not always evident. They are scary. Oh, I gotta go reach. I'm not an asker, I'm a giver. That's why I would never excel in real estate. I thought I could for a minute. I just can't go and ask you, hey, do you want me to sell your house for you? I'm not, if you're my friend, I'm not asking you for anything. I'm giving you everything. Even if you're not my friend, I'm still not asking you for anything. Yet that's what I'm choosing to do in this business. So for me, giving is where I find the most satisfaction and the most reward. But I have to learn to balance that. I have to learn to balance it by being able to ask and not being afraid of what the answer is.
That's, I think you're in really good company here too. And I think there's something, for lack of a better word, magical about this particular opportunity with that, because it's an essential service that people need.
Mhm.
It kind of bridges that gap of discomfort, right? Where we're not selling something that people don't really need or want, right? Like it's not the next device, or it's not some potion that people can buy to get rid of elbow wrinkles or something, right? Like it's like people need this, so that
Crepey
feels
skin.
good, right? It feels good
Yeah.
to throw it out there and say, and then you can grow and expand on that too.
Well, I find though, when you tell, even now, I mean, I'm very proud of it. And people say, "Oh, what do you do?" And I say I'm a notary, it's like a blank stare. Like, what the hell? What do you mean you're a notary? I'm
No,
a
but
notary.
what do you really do?
I go into, even when I went into all of the car dealerships near me recently, and I walk in the door and I said, "Hi, I'm a notary." And they're like, "And?"
And
Like, well, you're going to need that. Like, if you need a duplicate title, if you're selling something and mostly duplicate title, you're going to need that. Last week, I got a call of one of the guys. Hey, I have a guy who has a duplicate title. I'm like, see, I told you.
told ya.
So, but you do encounter a lot of that. What do you mean you're a notary? What the hell is that?
Yeah. You know, I as that I think that it's our biggest challenge, but it's also our biggest opportunity, right? Because it's so unrecognized
Mhm.
that there's this service. So that we're really, even though this profession has been around, it's the second oldest profession. Uh,
Well, my mother
uh,
told me about the other one.
but
She told me I was sitting on a gold mine, but I didn't listen to her.
there's
Trish may have to edit that out.
no, we're keeping that. We're keeping that.
She-
Um, but yeah, there is a lot of educating that comes
Lots.
by sharing what we do, because people just don't realize it. And here in the age of convenience, where people are willing to pay um, for services to come to them, they value their time more than their money, more than ever before.
Mhm.
Even in strange, weird, tumultuous economic times, people pay to have marijuana and ice cream delivered to their door.
You
And they
bet.
will certainly pay to have a mobile notary. So I think that's the opportunity we have here.
Yes, for sure.
Nancy, thank you so much for sharing so much of yourself and bringing magnetic mantras to the universe. I think this is very powerful and I truly appreciate it. Any closing words that you have for our notaries that might be watching today?
Again, join a group, get connected. It will be, and I'm not a joiner. Believe me, I don't join anything. And this Notary Business Builder was the first legitimate thing that I've joined. That you have to commit to paying for it, not you commit to the time involved, but I have found it to be well worth it. And I would, my advice to any new notary is definitely get connected with a group of your peers.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank
And
you.
if you'd like to learn more, all the links are down below in the show notes, or you can just visit notarycoach.com. I have a link to the Innovator Spotlight where you can find Nancy and Magnetic Mantras. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. Thank you.